Thankfully, organisations like Fair and Saturday in Ireland that I'm involved with myself have been trying to help in action in relation to educating people into why it should not be, it shouldn't be allowed, it shouldn't happen, and clubs, associations, UEFA and FIFA have got to act in a stronger manner. I think putting on the onus on the referee to take care of it is unfair, or for the referee to take on the role of the assessor of when he stops the game, or has an interruption in the game, or takes the players off the pitch. I think that's totally unfair. I also think it's unfair that it should be on the referee, or on the players, or the captain of a team, as it was when England were playing the matches and Harry Kane involved in
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria earlier in the scene. I think it needs to be somebody else on the sidelines, an official who makes that call and tells the referee. But it's disgraceful, and Chelsea have had their own bother with those instances like that in recent years, and had to ban supporters, and it's ridiculous. I mean, the number of black players who are playing in both teams today, it's how any supporter would go to a game and think it's okay to abuse a player because of his colour, no matter which team he's supporting. It's just ridiculous. I mean, the number of black players playing in either team, or whether it's because he's a white player or a black player, it's immaterial. It shouldn't be about anything to do with them, in case of their appearance or their colour or anything else. It's just horrible, and I don't blame the Chelsea players for being upset, but then it's not acceptable, because there was incidents in the match involving certain players that then the crowd abused them because of their colour. If they're abusing them because they made bad tackles and want to give them a bit of stick or reasonable abuse in relation to their performance in the match or actions they took in the game, but to add on the bit where it becomes down their colour, it's just disgraceful.
It's a real shame. Setting that aside for a moment, today is a really good day for Frank Lampard and Chelsea, because you'll know as a manager that when you hit that first dip, that'll really test your mettle. And on the evidence of today, Chelsea came out with flying colours.
It was a big game for Mourinho as well, and I'm sure he talked about having that time, as I said during the commentary during the week, to work with the team for the first time, to do some intensive detailed work because of the number of matches they've had in the last month when he was here. But they were in many ways they were out-thought tactically. I mean, they obviously weren't expecting Chelsea to line up with the three centre halves in place, and even I was trying to predict the team yesterday, and I didn't include Tomori in the team. I thought it'd be Rudiger and Zouma as the centre backs with the full backs in place. I wasn't so sure who'll play at left back, so I think he cannot cut me out. That's no big deal, but he caught Marino out. But it was also the quality of the performance, and sticking with or bringing Mount back in, sticking with him and Abraham and Willian as the front three really upset Spurs. But they were right from early in the match. After 2 minutes, they were quicker and sharper to the ball. They were more crisp and accurate with their passing. They were more vibrant in the front positions, and they were kind of rougher physically in defence, which snuffed out the threat from Spurs. And I felt 2-0 was a fair reflection of the first half, even though the second goal was obviously very, very controversial. But controversial in that the referee got it wrong in not awarding the penalty in the first place after Gazaniga made the mistake.
It was a hell of a mistake. Goodness me.
Hell of a mistake.
My God.
I mean,
it's like the first time he's ever run out to a bouncing ball.
Why not go out and catch it? The biggest advantage a goalkeeper has on anyone in the pitch is that you can use your maulers.
Someone needs to tell him. Someone needs to tell him. Even if he punched it.
Not do what you do. Throw your boot at it and miss it, and then your boot follows through and catches the fella up high and knocks him over. I mean, Andy Taylor was given, I think originally, gave Spurs a free out. It was a ridiculous decision. But anyway, I mean that Spurs it gave them. I thought it 1-0. You know, when we've seen plenty of games change and managers have influence, and Mourinho have influence on matches at half time and get them taken back into the game. But you know, 2-0, the way Chelsea were playing, and then the Son incident made it almost impossible for Spurs to retrieve the situation.
I'm just seeing repeats here of that incident we're talking about. I mean, like he had to. His foot was almost. He was parallel in the air. He was horizontal in the air. He had his foot that high. So I'm looking forward to his explanation. You said Son was a yellow. Can you understand the red?
Yeah, I could. I mean, look, it was a long way from us, and the guys who are making the decision in the van are obviously. I don't know who the expert in the van, the referee, former referee today. I don't know who it was. Andrew Mariner was on the line, but Stephen actually has it written down here for me. If I can just get a read of it, Paul Tierney, young, not overly experienced referee, so he was his call then, but. I suppose I'm very surprised to see Son involved in another incident.
Three reds in 17 games or something now. I know one was rescinded in fairness, but still.
Yeah, the Gomez one was very unfortunate, but I thought there was a second action in the way his leg went up in the air and was close to Rudiger's body, and I thought there was another little movement that suggested to me he could be in a bit of bother here, but it wasn't like it wasn't a stabbing action with the studs that I'm going to make a mark on you in the centre of your belly. I thought it was a little bit harsh, but look, you know, Paul Tierney understands the rules, the instructions, and if it's considered violent conduct, he's within his rights to instruct the referee.
So it's not a million miles away. Remember Beckham in '98 against Simeone, although Beckham was obviously on the ground. It was a touch of just a little tap out, petulance almost. So that's Mourinho now against Manchester United and Chelsea coming away with nothing. Discuss.
Well,
the two real tests for it.
I think, you know, the way Mourinho will look at it is, you know, we've improved the position. We've got, what's that, 4 wins out of 6 games. That's 12 points. Spurs had only won 3 games before he'd come this season. They were struggling to win matches. So,
the big games.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but that's like, I mean, I don't think he'd be personally devastated by the fact that they've lost. He's come into a club and he's won a few matches and ensured that they got through the Champions League, and they're in the last 16. They've got a bit of time now to concentrate in the league before they play RB Leipzig. I think this is all a learning experience thing for Mourinho in terms of these players. I read his programme notes today where he was almost apologising for putting out a weak team against Bayern Munich and the fact they lost the match, but he said it was really important for him to learn more about the players. So what he meant was, well, I gave Danny Rose a game, Kyle Walker Peters, Sessegnon, Foyt and Lo Celso, and I learned a lot about them. And you know what he learned was put most of them on the bench. They're not good enough to be in my team. So I think that process is still going on. That you don't. I think I've said this before to you, Joe. You never really know what they're like until you get them up close, and then you go, oh God, why did they sign him, or who signed him? And that's what he's going through now. He'll be now talking with Daniel Levy about have we got any money in the kitty to sign a player or two in January. I think that's what he'll be at. Look at the goalkeeping thing. He also was quoted as saying that he'd be back sometime in February. He didn't know what date in February that Lloris would be back. But Lloris wasn't playing too well when he was playing. So they need a goalkeeper. They might. I tell you what, the Brazilian fella played well against Liverpool last night, didn't he?
Flamengo keeper.
Flamengo keeper played very, very well in the match. He looks like one that could come in. We've seen a few Brazilian keepers playing for the main teams now in England. So maybe they'll have to go that far to get one, but I think they definitely need a goalkeeper, and they need other players. They need full backs. They need players. Spurs. They need the squad needed rejuvenation before the start of this season, and it didn't really happen. And Dembele's been out injured a bit. It looks like now today when he come on, he could do a bit all right. Sessegnon has talent, but it's kind of unproven in the Premier League yet. He hasn't done it. He's been out injured too, hasn't shown it. But they need a couple of real players that they can put into the team, and they'll make a difference from the off.
Okay. Listen, thanks for all the work all year. Have a great Christmas.
Thank you, Joe, and I'm looking forward to our next game against Spurs and Brighton on Stephen's Day. And then we've got I've got Liverpool and Wolves on the 29th, so still a bit to do before the end of the year, but
good man.
You know,
well, it's the last time I'll talk to you. I'll have my feet up.
Okay, well, that's well
I'll be listening.
Well earned for you too. And we don't expect you to listen to it and watch it at the same time. You can do one or the other.
Right.
I know people.
I know. I'd expect him to listen to it now, Brian.
No, Stephen,
I'll be listening.
I know people, friends of mine who
we're
say
out of time here now. Come on.
The mothers love to listen to the radio when I'm on with Stephen and watch the telly. How mad can you get?
You're the housewife's favourite. We've said this all along.
No.
Listen, go on.
You and Tommy, go on.
That's right, yeah. Right. Stephen Doyle, Brian Kerr, we got to go. We'll see you tomorrow as usual. Good luck.